MEVO is some of the technology we recently discovered that's really cool, and it's basically a little camera that sits as a 4K image that it shoots. And the crazy thing, so it has a fisheye lens that it shoots with, and I'm going to set it up now, and you control it from a phone. So the idea is that you go onto Wi-Fi, and you switch your Wi-Fi on, and if I do it right, Mike, I don't know if I should be closer so one can get to see this in a moment, and I'm launching it, which is the MEVO, there you go. And then once it launches, it should find it. So far it's looking good. Let's see if it did. On settings, it's looking for it.
It's not a GoPro. If it was a GoPro, it would take long.
Is it? No, I think the technology is still early days, so we may cut this out in the end, but no, you know, when you want to, Steve Jobs was the one who did that demo, can you remember? That went so horribly wrong. Yeah, but there it is. So we connect, Mike, we're connecting, points. And then what the thing does from that moment on, and I'm going to start recording once it's there, is it gives you a shot of what you're shooting, and you can go in and cut close-ups and stuff. So what I'm going to start doing is to record it. At that stage, thanks Mike, we're on. So this now records us, and I'm going to put it up here to say this is the inaugural meeting. Thank you for everyone. Thanks for coming to the MASHUP. And there we go. Yeah. So hopefully I can tell you a little bit about what it is as soon as the camera settles. Thanks Mike. Now I'm going to, from there on, supposedly, what you do is you control it from here. And you can decide where your audio comes from. I'm going to make the audio come from the iPhone and put the iPhone quite central so we can record it. And then from that moment on, it should start seeing a long shot of what we do. Mike needs to then move forward. And now we are doing it. There we are. Thank you. Now I don't have to project anymore. That was all my acting to get into it. So welcome everybody. That's cool. Let's talk a little bit about the purpose of what we try to do with this. To say it's a maker mashup, and the idea is that we really connect with people who generate content, people who are interested in getting their content to have better numbers and to get better viewers and to get it out there, just see if we can grow it into something really enormous. I was really hopeful in thinking that there'll be 12 people at least, which is why this room would have worked. I don't think with the lighting it would have worked, but we were ready to go bigger downstairs in the restaurant. So if you're watching it online, it comes from the VDL, which is the fantastic Van der Linde restaurant in Linden, which is nice. Cool, so we're going to take a little bit of a different kind of direction, I think, from what we had thought of to do if it was a bigger group, and also if I had prepared better. But at least this was kind of to get going and say, let's put just some thoughts maybe out of what this was meant to be. You're talking about, should writers be, should one get, other production people involved? And I think it's a good idea. My thought initially when we started talking, Edzard and myself, we were just saying maybe the thought is to start just to go, let's just see who's out there producing stuff and what they're busy doing. So, it's not that way. We've not, you're the one. So it's yours. And you guys do it. Mike and I suppose our offset is more in a space of corporate and commercial, which is not strictly speaking vlogging and blogging, stuff, which you guys will be able to give us better feelings around how to go about finding more. Because it'll really be great to share the knowledge also. Like you're saying, you've got writing skills. He's got technical skills that are insane. You're an editor. I'm also a director background. I work with coaching people. How do you make something more real? How do you find more authenticity in what you present? I think there's a lot of really great stuff that can come out from sharing knowledge, So for me personally, my take on it, but I'd like to hear what everyone else wants to do or thinks it should have, is to have a purpose to go, if we can get a vlogging society together and help empower those people with simple methodologies, things like a MEVO, things like even just iPods. On my phone, we have an app that we bought, which is a multicam app. And you can shoot stuff because it's an HD camera on your phone. So if there were those kind of tools that we can help enable people and at the same time try and find a way to monetize it more than YouTube does necessarily, wouldn't that be a great thing? But that's kind of my purpose. I don't know, you guys must pitch in, because this is where we're going to write up some kind of document that we're going to put onto that site to go, this is what we're trying to do with a Maker Mashup. Your feelings?
I've mentioned it to you before, but just so that it's out there for the guys as well. I think what the guys might have as a concern, the YouTubers, is to retain the rights of their product, whatever it is that they create, while they can put it onto YouTube, and then it'll be great for any YouTuber, I'm sure, to especially at the beginning stages, which can be years to build up those subscriptions, to earn a little bit of an income there as well. So I think their concern would be, how can that be achievable? Because I think we're not looking. I don't know. Yes, we're looking to help new guys, but I don't think it's to create YouTubers. It's existing creators that we're getting in. If
exactly, and I think any type of creator of content, like you're saying, if you're making short films, the market's not always there for television for short films, but maybe there's another way of making short films be able to, I don't know.
Well, I mean, from my side, generally when it comes down to making anything, because I've worked, not just writing, but whenever I put something together for TV, or whenever I put something together for a feature film or a short film, I always think about the channels of distribution. And generally online is not looked at, because everyone thinks, how are you going to make money from YouTube or Vimeo or anything like that. So there's a lot of content that would be made that wouldn't fit into the traditional TV and so forth. That would be perfect for YouTube and Vimeo. I mean, the concern that you have about rights is an absolute problem that's there on YouTube, because a lot of times you put something onto YouTube, a short film or an ad or anything like that. Some guy, I'm saying that some guy in Nigeria takes it, whacks it, puts it there, wants it, and then that's it. So, I mean, there are many different platforms that you could try out. Vimeo is the one that I use a lot. Mainly because whenever you submit stuff to festivals, you put your short film or your film onto that, and they use that.
More contained,
I mean, it is password protected and things. And I think it's a lot more difficult to grab a video from Vimeo than it is from YouTube. So that's probably an aspect that we could look at if we're looking at content that we really want to protect, that we really want to make sure no one gets a hand on it unless they've got a password, or unless they have a link, or if we're going to put it out there.
Or that it's not downloadable.
Yeah, that's exactly it. If you just put it out there, it's not downloadable.
Unfortunately, anything that's on the internet, if
somebody record somehow.
If somebody can view it, you can record it.
It's true.
So,
do you know what I also think is a category for me in doing this stuff is, what's so insane is at the end of the day, what really creates value for us is the more people who see what we do. For me, it's a shame to me that, for example, today we shot a lovely facilitator who talks about EQ, emotional quotient and so on. And I know that her audience online is only that small, but the material is so powerful that we should be able to get everybody to understand what EQ means, because it'll make you more prepared for dealing with stress, dealing with, and that's kind of one of my many clients that we have. And so it's not necessarily entertainment specific where you come from, drama and stuff, that it sits in a category where television budgets and stuff allow for. But I think that there's another whole category of content that can be created, that can be monetized, and value can be generated by rotating it across platforms or rotating it across different forms of content or formats.
I think I also misspoke about what I think some of that content could be, because a lot of people who put stuff online, they've gotten the funding for the short films, they've gotten the funding for the web series. Their sole goal is to put it online. It doesn't matter if it's disseminated in its own way, if someone does something with it later on, but the goal is to actually just put it online so people watch it,
get some viewers. And
that's I think what we can actually be hitting with this. Stuff that's already been covered in terms of budget, and all we're really doing is just generating views from it.
Excellent. So that's sort of, I don't know, Mike, have you got more to add? That's kind of a direction that we're thinking of going, and I want to sort of say...
I'm just listening, because I mean, at the end of the day, with content, you want to generate as many views as possible, and at the same time, if you're generating views, you want to try and generate revenue as well from those views. Excellent. So it's all it's you can have 1 million views on YouTube and earn no money.
Exactly.
So you actually want to try and get something. I don't want to say recognition, but you actually want to get. I want to get revenue. I think everybody
and viewers, and again, I think everybody understands if you get the numbers, then there's other ways of getting revenue. So I want to say to our wonderful viewers out in the dark, that's as much as we're going to record for now, and then we're going to carry on. So please read on the site what it is that we came up with, what the values are going to be, and be sure to make next month a date, more or less the same sort of date of the month, and we're going to do more of this. Okay. So thanks for watching.